If you don't marry me in 3 days, 200 people will die. Zuri Williams stared at the Korean Mafia boss who just had her kidnapped from a Chicago hospital parking lot. She was still in her scrubs. He was in a $5,000 suit, and between them sat a contract that would change her life forever. Hello and welcome to Afro-Korean Romance Stories. This is our first video and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification for more stories like this one. 72 hours earlier, Zuri had been having the worst shift of her nursing career. 12 hours in Chicago's ICU, 3 codes, and a doctor who couldn't find a vein if his life depended on it. She clocked out at 3 a.m., every muscle screaming, her natural hair fighting its way out of the bun she'd twisted that morning. The parking garage was empty. Her beat-up Honda was 50 feet away. Freedom. Then the black SUV rolled up, blocking her path. 3 Korean men in expensive suits stepped out. Professional. Armed. Very clearly not here to ask directions. "Miss Min," the tallest one said, his English accented. "Please come with us." Zuri's hand tightened on her keys, metal edge between her knuckles like the self-defense class taught her. "Wrong person. I'm Zuri Williams. I don't know any Miss Min." The man showed her his phone. A photo of a woman who looked exactly like her, same deep brown skin, same face shape, same height. But the woman wore designer clothes and had professionally styled hair. "That's not me," Zuri said, backing up. "I've never seen her." "Nevertheless," the man said, stepping forward, "you will come." Zuri ran. Made it 3 steps before hands grabbed her. She fought, drove her elbow back hard, heard a satisfying grunt, but there were 3 of them. Something sweet-smelling pressed over her face. Chemical. Chloroform, maybe. The world tilted and went black. She woke up in a bed that probably cost more than her car. Silk sheets. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a city she didn't recognize. Not Chicago. The signs outside were in Korean. Seoul. She was in Seoul. "You're awake." Zuri jerked upright. A man stood by the window, backlit by city lights. Tall, over 6 feet, with the kind of presence that filled a room. As he turned, the light caught his features. Sharp jawline. Dark eyes that missed nothing. Perfectly styled black hair. A suit that probably cost $5,000. He was beautiful in the way a knife was beautiful. Elegant and deadly. "I'm Kang Tae-min," he said, his English flawless. "I apologize for my men's methods. We're running out of time." "Where am I?" Zuri demanded, swinging her legs off the bed. Still in her scrubs. Phone gone. "Why was I kidnapped?" "Seoul. My penthouse. And there's been a complication." He pulled out his phone, showed her the photo again. "This is Min Seo-yun. My fiancée. She disappeared 3 days ago. Our wedding is in 72 hours, and you look exactly like her." Zuri laughed, sharp and disbelieving. "So find her." "Not my problem. It became your problem when my men brought you here." Tae-min's voice went cold. "Her father is Min Dae-young, head of the Busan Min family. Our families have been at war for 15 years. This wedding is the truce. No bride at that altar means the war starts again. 200 dead in the first week." He said it so calmly, like discussing stock prices. "Then postpone." "Impossible." Tae-min stepped closer. "Every crime family in Asia will be there. If I admit I've lost my bride, I look weak. My enemies will smell blood. If the Min family admits their daughter fled, they're humiliated. Pride will force a war neither side can afford." Zuri stood, facing him. "What do you want from me?" 3 days. Let me court you. If, by the end, you genuinely want to marry me, we go through with the wedding. You save hundreds of lives." His dark eyes searched her face. "If not, I give you $50,000 and a flight home." "You're insane." "I'm desperate." Something vulnerable flickered across his face. I've spent my entire life in arranged relationships. Political alliances. For once, I want to know what it's like to be with someone who chooses me. Who sees me as just a man. The loneliness in his voice made her chest tighten. Why me? Zuri asked. Why not hire an actress? Because you're real, Taemin said quietly. You don't know my reputation. You're not afraid of me. You looked me in the eye and called me insane. His mouth curved slightly. I need that honesty. Zuri thought of her sister Amara. 17, senior year, college applications she couldn't afford. The eviction notice tucked under Zuri's mattress. $50,000 would change everything. 3 days, she said slowly. I can call my sister. You don't touch me without permission. If I say no at the end, I walk away free. Agreed. Then I'll stay. But I'm not promising anything. Relief washed over his face. That's all I'm asking. The next morning, Zuri barely recognized herself. A woman named Mrs. Choi had arrived with stylists who transformed her natural hair into elegant twisted updo. The dress they provided was emerald silk that fit like it was made for her. She looked like she belonged in this world. It terrified her. Lunch was served on a private terrace overlooking Seoul. Taemin was already there, dressed more casually, black slacks, white shirt with sleeves rolled up. He looked younger. Almost approachable. You look beautiful, he said as she sat. Flattery won't work on me, Zuri said. Good. I don't want it to. He poured her tea. Tell me about yourself. The real you. So she did. About her parents dying in a car crash 3 years ago. About raising Amara alone while working 70-hour weeks. About the constant weight of keeping them both afloat. And Taemin listened. Actually listened, his dark eyes never leaving her face. What about you? Zuri asked. Who's the real Kang Taemin? He was quiet for a long moment. Then, I was 8 when my father brought me to my first execution. I learned early that emotion is weakness. That love is a weapon people use against you. He looked out over the city. My father was poisoned by an ally he trusted when I was 24. I took over and made sure no one could ever hurt me again. That sounds lonely, Zuri said softly. It's realistic. He met her eyes. Until 3 days ago, I'd accepted I'd marry a stranger and die without ever knowing real connection. Then you appeared. Fierce and honest and completely unimpressed by my power. And I thought, maybe this is my one chance. Zuri's breath caught at the raw honesty in his voice. Come with me, Taemin said, standing. I want to show you something. He led her to a private library. Floor-to-ceiling books, warm lighting, comfortable chairs. This is the only room where I can just be, he said. He pulled an old leather-bound book from the shelf. My mother gave me this before she died. Korean love poems. I was 12 and thought they were stupid. Now it's all I have of her. He opened it, showed her a pressed flower between delicate pages. She told me love isn't weakness. It's the only thing that makes power worth having. His voice dropped. I didn't understand then. And now? Zuri asked. Now I think she was right. He reached out slowly, tucking a loose curl behind her ear. His fingers barely grazed her skin, but it felt electric. May I kiss you? He asked. Zuri's heart hammered. This was insane. She'd known him one day. But the way he looked at her, like she was something precious, made her whisper, yes. The kiss was soft, careful, nothing like she expected from a crime lord. When they pulled apart, Taemin looked shaken. That was, he started. His phone rang. He cursed in Korean, answered. Whatever he heard made his expression go hard. What's wrong? Zuri asked. Min Dae-young. Seo-yun's father. Taemin's jaw tightened. He's here. Downstairs. He wants to see his daughter. Now. Terror spiked through Zuri. But I'm not her. He doesn't know that. Taemin gripped her shoulders. You meet him as Seo-yun. Let me do most of the talking. If he suspects the truth, we're both dead. 5 minutes later, Zuri sat in a formal receiving room, every muscle tense. Taemin stood behind her, his hand on her shoulder, protective and possessive. The door opened. Min Dae-young walked in, and Zuri understood immediately why men feared him. 60s, cold calculating eyes, presence that commanded instant obedience. He spoke rapid Korean to Taemin, then turned those sharp eyes on Zuri. You look different from your photographs, he said in accented English. Zuri's mouth went dry. Wedding stress, she managed. I've lost weight. Show me your wrist. Ice flooded her veins. Taemin had warned her, Seo-yun had a small butterfly tattoo her father didn't know about. Someone had noticed Zuri's wrist was bare. Slowly, Zuri extended her arm. No tattoo. Where is your butterfly? Min Dae-young asked, his voice dangerously soft. Zuri's mind raced. I had it removed, she said, her voice steady despite the terror. Mother said you would be ashamed. That it showed disrespect to tradition. So I lasered it off. It hurt, but I wanted to make you proud. The lie hung in the air like a blade. Min Dae-young stared at her for an endless moment. Then, slowly, he nodded. Your mother understands propriety. He looked at Taemin, the wedding proceeds tomorrow at sunset. Do not disappoint me. The door closed behind him. Zuri's legs gave out. Taemin caught her, holding her up. You did it, he breathed. God, you were incredible. I just lied to a crime lord, Zuri said, half laughing, half crying. You saved hundreds of lives. Taemin tilted her chin up. Why? You could have told him the truth. Zuri looked into his dark eyes and admitted the terrifying truth. Because somewhere between yesterday and right now, I started caring about you. Taemin stared at her like she'd given him the world. Then his phone rang again. He answered, listened, and went pale. They found her, he said hollowly. Seo-yun. She's in Busan, boarding a ship to Japan with a man. He closed his eyes. She's pregnant. And the father is Lee Jin-ho of the Hwang family, the same family that murdered my father. The room spun. What does that mean? Zuri whispered. It means if Min Dae-young finds out his daughter is pregnant with his enemy's baby and tried to hide it by marrying me, he'll see it as the ultimate betrayal. Taemin's hands shook. He'll execute Seo-yun. He'll massacre the Hwangs. He'll come for us for the deception. Hundreds will die. Then we tell him. We can't. Taemin looked wrecked. We've already lied to him. He met you as his daughter. If we admit the truth now, he'll kill us both and start the war anyway. So what do we do? We go through with the wedding, Taemin said. Tomorrow. You marry me for real, we unite the families, and we never let him know his daughter ran. That's not the deal. Zuri backed away. You said 3 days to fall in love. You said if I said no. I meant every word, Taemin said, his voice breaking. But that was before I knew the alternative was Seo-yun's execution. Before I knew her unborn child would die. Before I knew, he stopped, looked at her with desperate eyes. Before I fell in love with you. Zuri froze. What? I love you, Zuri Williams. He said it like a confession. I know it's been 2 days. I know it's insane. But you make me feel human. You see past the monster to the person underneath. So I'm asking, not as a crime lord, but as a man who wants you to choose him. Will you marry me tomorrow? Zuri's eyes burned with tears. You're asking me to give up my entire life. My home. My career. My sister. I'm asking you to save lives and give us a chance, Taemin said, stepping closer. Your sister's college, I'll fund all 4 years. Your family, protected forever. You want to keep nursing? I'll build you a hospital. You want to go home? I'll fly you there whenever you want. You want time to be sure this is real? We'll have a marriage on paper only until you're ready. And if I say no right now? Pain flashed across his face. Then I let you go. I'll find another way. And I'll spend my life wondering what we could have been. Zuri turned away, her mind spinning. This was insane. Marrying a man she'd known 48 hours. Becoming part of a criminal empire. Living a lie forever. I need to think, she said. Alone. In her room, she pulled out the phone Taemin had given her and called Amara. Zuri. Hey, the craziest thing just happened, Amara said, breathless with excitement. What? A law firm called. They said an anonymous donor paid my entire college tuition. All 4 years. $200,000. Amara's voice cracked. Was it you? How is that even possible? Zuri's breath caught. She looked at the closed door. Taemin had already paid. Before she'd agreed to anything. Before she'd said yes. Amara, Zuri said slowly, if I told you I met someone. Someone unusual. Someone who could give you everything you need, but it meant I'd have to stay away for a while. Would you be okay? Are you in trouble? No. Just at a crossroads. Then follow your heart, Amara said. You've taken care of me my whole life. Maybe it's time someone took care of you. Are you happy with this person? Zuri thought of Taemin's smile when she challenged him. His gentleness with his mother's book. The loneliness in his eyes when he'd said he wanted someone to choose him. Yeah, she whispered. I think I am. Then that's all that matters. Love you, sis. Love you too. Zuri hung up and sat in the silence. Every logical part of her brain screamed this was wrong. But her heart, her stupid, traitorous heart, knew the answer. She found Taemin in his office, staring out at the Seoul skyline. He looked like he hadn't slept. I'll do it, Zuri said. His head snapped around. What? I'll marry you. On 3 conditions. She stepped closer. 1, we're honest with each other. No more secrets. 2, you help me bring Amara here sometimes. I won't abandon her. 3, we take this slow. Marriage on paper, but we actually date before we. Yes, Taemin said, crossing to her. He cupped her face with trembling hands. Yes to all of it. Zuri, I swear I'll spend every day proving you didn't make a mistake. You'd better, she said. Because if you break my heart, I know where you sleep. He laughed, actually laughed, and kissed her with a desperation that made her knees weak. The wedding preparations moved with terrifying speed. Mrs. Choi brought a traditional Korean hanbok in white and gold, modern and elegant. Stylists perfected Zuri's hair. Taemin's men secured the venue, a traditional Korean garden with paper lanterns and cherry blossoms. 300 guests filled the space. Crime lords. Politicians. Business elites. All watching. Min Dae-young sat in the front row, his expression unreadable. An hour before the ceremony, Taemin found Zuri in the bridal suite. You can still change your mind, he said quietly. Right now. I'll face the consequences. And let people die? No. Zuri took his hand. We're doing this together. Together, he echoed, wonder in his eyes. The music started. Traditional Korean drums and flutes. Zuri walked down the aisle, her heart hammering against her ribs. Every step felt surreal. 300 pairs of eyes tracked her movement. Then she reached the altar and saw Taemin's face. He looked at her like she was saving his life just by being there. And Zuri realized she wasn't pretending anymore. The officiant spoke in Korean. Zuri had been coached on when to bow, when to speak the simple phrases. "Na," she said softly when prompted. "Yes." The Korean word felt strange on her tongue. They shared ceremonial wine. Bowed to the elders. Min Dae-young watched every moment, his sharp eyes missing nothing. Then came the final moment. Taemin looked at her, silent question in his dark eyes. She nodded slightly. He leaned in and kissed her softly. The crowd erupted in applause. They were married. The reception was overwhelming. Speeches in Korean she couldn't understand. Elaborate courses she was too nervous to taste. Taemin's hand found hers under the table, anchoring her. "We did it," he murmured in English. "Not yet," Zuri whispered back. "We still have to." A commotion at the entrance. Shouting. Guards moving quickly. Taemin stood, his body going rigid with tension. Through the doors, flanked by security, came a young Korean woman. Beautiful, delicate features, visibly pregnant, tears streaming down her face. Min Seo-yun. The real bride. The room went deadly silent. Every eye turned to the woman, then to Zuri in her wedding hanbok, then back. Min Dae-young rose slowly from his seat. His face could have been carved from stone. "What is the meaning of this?" His voice cut through the silence like a blade. Seo-yun sobbed. "Abog, Jibal. Father, please. I'm sorry. I couldn't marry him. I love someone else. I'm carrying his child." The temperature in the room dropped. "Whose child?" Min Dae-young asked, each word dangerously soft. "Lee Jin-ho. Of the Huang family." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The Huangs, the family that had murdered Taemin's father in cold blood. Min Dae-young's hand moved to his waist. Zuri knew he carried a gun there. "You dishonor our family," he said to his daughter. "You dishonor this alliance. You will. Stop." Taemin's voice rang out with absolute authority. He stepped forward, and Zuri saw the crime lord fully unleashed. "Min Dae-young, your daughter made a choice. Love over duty. Is that worth her life? She betrayed you. Betrayed this wedding." "The wedding happened," Taemin said, gesturing to Zuri. "I married a woman today. The alliance is sealed." Confusion rippled through 300 guests. Min Dae-young's eyes narrowed dangerously. "That woman is not my daughter." "No," Taemin admitted. "She's not." The room erupted in shocked murmurs. 3 days ago, Taemin said, his voice carrying to every corner, "Your daughter disappeared. She fled to be with the man she loved. I was left with a choice, admit failure and watch our families destroy each other, or find another solution." He pulled Zuri to his side. "I found Zuri Williams. An American nurse. A woman who resembled Seo-yun enough to pass at a distance. I asked her to play the role while I searched for your daughter. I offered her money. But then something happened I didn't plan for." He looked at Zuri with such tenderness that her breath caught. "I fell in love with her," Taemin said. "Really? Actually. This brilliant, fierce woman who challenged me and saw past my reputation. Who agreed to marry me not for money, but to save lives. Including your daughter's life." He turned back to the crowd. "So yes, the woman I married isn't the one you expected. But the marriage is real. The alliance is real. And if anyone has a problem with that." His men stepped forward, hands moving to concealed weapons. "You're welcome to discuss it with me." The silence was deafening. Min Dae-young stared at Taemin, then at his sobbing daughter, then at Zuri in her wedding hanbok. "You deceived me," he said, his voice lethal. "I did what was necessary to prevent a war," Taemin said. "Just like you would have. Just like your daughter did when she chose love over politics. If I allow this deception, I look weak. If you allow this marriage," Taemin countered, "you look wise. You gain an alliance with my family and free your daughter to marry for love. The Huangs will accept her if we broker the peace together. 3 families united instead of destroying each other." Min Dae-young's jaw worked. "And what did you offer this woman to deceive an entire room of crime lords?" Taemin looked at Zuri. "Nothing she didn't deserve. Security for her family. Freedom from worry. And the chance to be loved by someone who sees her worth. That's all?" Min Dae-young sounded skeptical. Zuri found her voice. "That's everything." She stepped forward, heart pounding. Sir, I know you don't know me. I know this is insane. But your daughter is terrified right now. She's pregnant and in love. I'm in love with the man I just married. If us being together means she keeps her baby and you don't lose your daughter, that seems fair to me. For the first time, something like respect flickered in Min Dae-young's eyes. You have courage, he said. Speaking to me this way. I'm a nurse from Chicago, Zuri said. I've dealt with worse than scary men in suits. A shocked ripple of laughter ran through the crowd. Even Min Dae-young's mouth twitched. Very well, he said. The marriage stands. The alliance holds. But you, he pointed at Taemin, will broker peace with the Hwang family so my daughter can marry Jin-ho properly. That is your wedding gift to me. Done, Taemin agreed immediately. Min Dae-young turned to Seo-yun. You will marry this Jin-ho. And you will name your first daughter after your mother, to honor what you've put her through. Seo-yun collapsed in relief. Na, a Bioji.